this girl done cut my wig. She just kept saying like, no, I didn't cut your wig. Next thing you know, she clapping in my face like, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? She banging on the wall like, what you trying to do? Next thing y'all know, we was in there scrapping. Hey y'all, it's me Jada, Sarai, and today I'm back with another video. This has been a long awaited video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, because you are OG, you a day one for real. I've been off the YouTube scene for a minute and I'm planning to make my comeback. So make sure y'all subscribe to me. Make sure y'all hit that post notification bell because again, y'all never know when I'm post, like as we see. And I plan to drop some bangers for y'all. So make sure y'all tapped in, okay? If you don't already, go follow me on all of my social medias. They will be down below on my Instagram, my TikTok. That's where I be at all the time. I don't want to do too much talking. I know y'all gonna ask me where I've been. And that's gonna be in a whole nother video because this video right here, I'm dropping all the tea. I did tell a little bit on my TikTok video. So if you're here from that, hey.
Hey. Better go hard, girl. This your child.
Let me stop doing all of that talking and let me just go ahead and get right into the video because this is what y'all came here for. I got me a little wine, got me a little hookah, because baby, this is the one. So as y'all read by that title, this is going to be my crazy roommate slash best friend story time. I'm gonna give y'all a little background of this story time before I get into it. Sophomore year was like right around COVID, like right after that semester of all that quarantine and stuff. We had moved back and it was a group of 3. I'm gonna give everybody names. Me, my best friend now, I'm just gonna give her her real name, Mara, which is my bestie, love you. It was me, Mara, and another girl, and we're gonna call her Fiona.
Oh my god, it's not funny.
We were all supposed to be roommates, but unfortunately Mara had a situation where student housing didn't allow her to room with us, so she had to stay off campus, which is only like down the street, honestly. So me and Fiona had to move into a student dorm, which is actually a 4-bedroom. If you go to PV, we stayed at phase 1, the ghetto.
Ooh, the ghetto! The ghetto!
We stayed in a 4-bedroom, but our other 2 roommates had never really moved in. Like they moved in, but they did not stay there. Honestly, like I don't know where they stayed at, but they were never there. During this time, I was actually talking to someone. We're just gonna call him, I don't even know if he should have a name, but we're just gonna call him, I don't know, what should we call him? I'm gonna call him Cap, because that's all he do. Me and Cap was always together, honestly. Even though me and Cap was always together, I still hung out with Mara and Fiona all the time. Like, if I was not with them, I was with him. If I wasn't with him, I was with them. So it was never no conflict. I was never that friend who just like left my friends just to go hang out with my dude. Growing up, I've never had to room with anybody. I've never had to share anything. Like, it was always just me and my mom. So freshman year, I did have a roommate, but we never really had any like altercation because we were just kind of the same. Like, we just went in our room. It was never that deep. Like, we was just living in the same room and that was that. Me and Fiona stayed on the same side of our apartment dorm, whatever. So when we were getting ready, I would get ready in my room, and then eventually when I'm done, like I open the door, we kicking it, talking, all of that. Like, we were real cool. Like, honestly, I feel like we were all really cool as a group. Like, we always did everything together. But I just was that roommate where once I'm in my room, like I'm to myself. And now I'll be in the living room because I like our apartment genuinely. But at the time, the student housing was terrible. I hated the living room. We didn't have no TV in there. I hated the couch. I just hated where we stayed. So honestly, it was like I was always in my room. I'm in a room with the door closed, but that doesn't mean like, oh, don't talk to me. It just gave like, you know, I'm in my room, watch TV, I'm chilling. I was just never that clingy friend slash roommate. But I believe that Fiona was. When we first moved in, if I happened to like cook anything, I would wash my dishes and, you know, go about the day. Sometimes Fiona would cook stuff and she would put her dishes in the sink and kind of leave them there. I just thought that, you know, if I'm coming in after her and I'm cooking something, I'm not just gonna throw my dishes in the sink as well. I believe in, if I'm gonna wash my dishes, I'm not gonna leave dishes behind. I'm just gonna go ahead and wash everything, you know, like common courtesy. But I did that a couple times. And eventually I was like, okay, this ain't cutting it. Because even if I was to like leave my dishes in there, she would not come back in and do what I did and wash all the dishes. It was just giving like, they just packing up, they just stacking up, and that was not gonna fly with me. I didn't say anything to Fiona, even though we were roommates, because I was never really that confrontational, like roommate, friend, really. I just felt like I shouldn't have to tell you to wash the dishes. That's just what I felt like. At this point, I was just like, you know, I'm done washing her dishes. I'm just gonna leave her dishes for her. I don't wash mine and yours plenty of times, so that's on you. I did say something to Mara one time about it, and I was just like, she left her dishes in the sink. They've been sitting for a long time, y'all. Like, it was to the point where like they were growing mold, y'all, molds.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I am disgusted.
Very much disgusting mold. I'm just like, bro, like she need to wash these dishes. Like, it was getting bad. Like, and at that point, that's not even washing it. Like, you just gotta throw these dishes away because molds, no, you're not coming back from that. I just kind of like let that be. I told Mara about it, but it was just like, you know, whatever. I think I ended up just throwing the dishes away. I just know I never really said anything to her about it at that point. One day, me, Mara, and Fiona had hung out with our homeboy, and we were just all kicking it. I think it was a story that was told either by Fiona or Mara, just talking about how like Fiona would leave from our crib and like go down the street and like kind of go bother. Like, when we say bother, I mean, she'll probably say now that it was bother, but back then it was just like she would go to her house bothering her, you know? And y'all, it wasn't even just like no normal bother. It was like she was just going to her crib and just being there. So Mara is more like me, which is why we're perfect roommates now, where we're just not clingy friends, roommates. Like, you know, like we can go on our own, we could just kick it. But Fiona would go over there and just dry be there. Mara finna get in bed, Fiona still be there. Like, you're doing too much, okay? During this conversation, our homeboy had mentioned, he's just like, why do you drive down the street to go bother Mara when Jada stays with you? Like, y'all roommates, but you driving to go bother her. And it was just kind of weird. Like, it was kind of like an awkwardness after that. It was, within our three, I feel like me and Mara was close, but I feel like they were kind of close too because they hung out even when I was like, you know, with Cap. It didn't bother me because it wasn't like I wasn't invited or anything. That was just one thing I had to mention because I remember that happening and it was just like awkward. Like, that conversation was very much awkward afterwards. And it was just never like, no, oh, I don't fuck with her. It just gave like, oh, you know, like we're not as close as we thought we were, or as, you know, anybody else thought. This part of the story time actually takes place in March. Like I said, this is in 2021. March 5th, if you're in Houston, you know about Baywatch. This is the second Baywatch that we had went to. We were all planning to go together. We were planning on getting a hotel out in Houston so that we could be closer to Baywatch. We were going to get a hotel for Friday night and Saturday night. During this time, Mara was actually talking to someone too, so I believe on Friday, she was going to be with her dude instead of going to Baywatch. You know, no problem, cool. Me and Fiona was still just going to be at the hotel, and, you know, we were going to go to Baywatch, and then Mara was going to come the next day and go to Baywatch that night. From what I know now, Fiona had told Mara that I guess she didn't want to go because how I guess it was just going to be me and her, and she didn't feel like, you know, that we wasn't going to have anything to talk about. And I just feel like that was odd because how are we not going to have anything to talk about and we supposed to be friends? Like, to me, it was nothing. We could have went to the party, hung out, came back to the hotel and chilled like we always do anyways. I wasn't tripping. She kind of backed out from going Friday night. We decided not to get the hotel for Friday. Mara honestly didn't have a problem with getting the hotel for Friday night because she was originally going to go anyways. But, you know, because she wasn't going to do it, Fiona didn't want to do it anymore. So we were just like, okay, X out Friday. We just going to get the hotel for Saturday night. Again, I wasn't tripping. I ended up just staying with Cap for the first day. Then the next day, I had went and met with Mara and Fiona at the hotel in the morning so that we can get ready for the party. We went to the party. It was real fun, real cool. Again, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm not thinking she has any problem with me because we got videos together. We hung out. Like, it was nothing that was weird, personally, to me. That was on March 5th. Or 6th, one of those days. Not even a week or two later, me, Mara, and Fiona used to always go to the gym together. Because we went to the gym on campus, Mara used to drive on campus and come and pick us up, and then we would go to the gym. On this one particular day, Mara had said how she was going to come and pick us up, but the gate used to always be closed, so she said, like, if the gate's not open, she's just going to go to the gym and she's just going to meet us there. I believe the gate was not open, so she ended up just saying, you know, she's just going to go to the gym and we're just going to meet there. So when she sent that message, Fiona had immediately texted back like, yeah, I'm gonna meet y'all there. Which was weird because, like I said, we are roommates. We stay at the same place. The gym is no further than 0.5 miles down the road. So honestly, we could have walked, but it was like her saying, okay, I'm gonna meet y'all there. It gave like, you not at home, but she was at home. I really wasn't tripping because it's like, okay, I could drive my own car. We literally walked downstairs, got in our own cars just to drive 0.5 miles down the road to the gym to work out together. And then afterwards have to get in our separate cars just to drive back to our apartment. To me, I kind of just acknowledged that we were friends, but we just weren't that close. Whenever we hung out, it was all cool, but it was just like, we just not that close. So also around this time, the next month was Fiona's birthday. So we were planning on going to Miami, and we were all like talking about it in a group chat. She was letting us know that, you know, her other friends was going. We was kind of getting like the prices together, and we were getting ready to buy our flights. So this is when stuff started getting real messy. Like I told y'all, the day we went to the gym separately was March 16th. On March 17th, y'all, the next day, me and Cap, we had originally went to go buy this treat from this girl. The girl happened to be friends with Fiona, so it was like a homemade treat. I believe it was like a cake. After taking the treat, it really just didn't do anything, you know, like it wasn't potent enough. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I had took a boomerang of the treat and I had posted it on my close friends, and I was just like, I'm done buying homemade treats because they just don't be doing nothing for me. Fiona had slid up on my story and she was just like, did you get this from so-and-so, her friend? So I was like, yeah, it was good taste-wise though. Y'all, kid y'all not, it was like maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, I'm getting a Snapchat from the original girl I bought the treat from. She Snapchatted me and sent me a screen recording of the boomerang on my close friends and was like, don't be bashing my business. People be shopping anyways. I've never had any bad reviews, like this and that. And I'm like, y'all, I said I'm done buying homemade treats. I never tagged the girl. I never said who I got it from. It just gave like, you read my story. You seen what I said. So I don't know how she could have got like, oh yeah, she's talking. Fiona was supposed to be like best friend. You sending my close friends to somebody else. Like, yeah, you friends with her, but we supposed to be best friends and you sending my close friends to somebody else? I ended up Snapchatting the girl back and I'm like, first of all, she should have told you, like I said, that it was good taste-wise. It just wasn't for me. Like, that situation going forward, I just knew in my head, like, this girl is obviously not my friend. Yesterday, he was already being weird. I was just like, that was my last straw. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was the cherry on top. That was the situation where I was like, I'm not friends with her no more. I remember I was leaving the crib. I was walking down the stairs. And once I got down the stairs, I had seen that she was, like, coming from her car, walking up the sidewalk. So now we about to walk past each other. As we walking past each other, I don't like awkwardness, even though in my head I was like, I'm not friends with her no more. Instead of like not saying anything, I was just like, oh, you know, like where your jacket at? Or something like that. I remember it being cold outside. When I said that, it just gave like she hesitated to say something back to me as if she wasn't gonna say nothing to me if I didn't say nothing. So that whole situation was even more of the cherry on top. It might have been that same day, it might have been a few days later, but I had told Mara specifically, I was like, I'm not going on the trip no more. On March 26th, she had stopped sharing her location with me, so I stopped sharing it too. And y'all know, once you stop sharing locations with your friend, y'all not friends no more. Like, that was the done deal. And y'all, literally the next day, she had posted a TikTok insinuating that if we were to get into a fight, she was gonna be my.
Let's be clear that there's not any time of the day within any year that if we squared up, that you would beat my ass. Okay. I want that to.
You can always like assume something is about you, but that video was definitely about me. I mean, in the end, it really wasn't about me, but that's what she thought. Psych! I don't know if we had actually just walked past each other in the crib, but we was not talking. You know, if we hung out with people or we just happened to be at the same place, I was not talking to her. And I don't think anybody that we were cool with kind of like picked up the vibe. I'm one of those people I believe in, if I don't you no more, I don't have to tell you why. I don't have to say nothing. I'm just not friends with you. You know what you did. The next day on the 28th, me, Cap, and my two homeboys, we were going to this party in Houston. And on the way there, Cap's car literally caught on fire. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember us being on the highway and I remember him exiting, just like kind of park the car. So once he parked the car, once he got out, I could just tell something was wrong. I remember him opening the hood and we just kind of seen smoke. Like, I remember him saying like, it's on fire. So we in a Mustang. Y'all know it's only a 2-door. So I hopped out, I moved the seat. My two homeboys get out. Y'all, we got the car and the car literally catches on fire from the hood to the back, like literally caught on fire. I did call Mara, but she was far in Houston at her dude's house. I remember her coming to get us to, you know, get in the car with her, but she was not going to be driving us back to PV and then driving back to Houston. I called our homeboy, you know, to see if he can come get us because, you know, we stranded. But what was weird to me, I posted on my story like a picture of the car. Cap actually posted it on his story too, but she slid up on Cap's story instead of mine.
That's weird.
Even though, you know, we had a situation going on, I feel like outside looking in, if I was her, even though we weren't friends anymore, I feel like I'm still gonna check up on you because it was weird to me. It wasn't like I was weird to you. You was weird to me. Like I said, that was March 28th. March 30th was the day all hell broke loose. So the night before March 30th, I had dyed a wig that I was sent to promote. I was in the living room. She was not there, but I was with Cap. I dyed the wig and then it was late at night, so I had eventually just like put it on a towel to let it dry, let it air dry because I had to drop it off the next morning. All of this was like literally days prior to Springfest. If you know me, you know I got bad OCD, and if you also know about the phases, you know that all of the rooms are very, very small. I always kept my wig head, my ring light, like all of that in the living room because I just hated having like so much clutter in my room. I left it in the living room to let it dry, and then I had went, you know, I went to the bed. The next morning, I went and got my wig from the living room and I brought it to my room because I was getting ready for the day. Along with me having to drop my wig off, I actually had a nail appointment this day. So I brought my wig to the room and then I had left my room to go to the bathroom to start getting ready. Once I left out of my room, looked down on the ground and I just like see hair on the ground. And y'all, not just like no regular strand. Like I literally seen this on the ground. What's that? I know I'm not tripping. I pick it up, I smell it. And it smelled like the shampoo or conditioner that I just washed my wig with. But I'm like, nah, like I just seen the wig. That ain't my wig. But I'll go back to my room, I pick up the wig and I'm like kind of like inspecting it, like trying to see like, is this my wig? Am I tweaking? I'm looking at the wig and I do see the part where it was like chopped. I like instantly got mad. The wig is not messed up, but it just gave like, you're just trying to be funny. So I text Mara and I'm like, you ain't gonna believe what happened. I basically said like, you know, I woke up and I went to the bathroom and I see hair on the floor. This girl done cut my wig. I thought I left it in there intentionally, but I guess I must have forgot. I sent her pictures of like the hair that I found on the ground. And so she's just like, Fiona? Like I told y'all, we didn't have each other's locations anymore. And I didn't see her at the crib once I went to sleep. So I didn't know if she was at home or not. But I was just like, bro, like just tell me if she's here. Cause you know, they still had each other's locations. So I was like, let me know if she's there. So she was like, she is. She was basically saying how she was gonna ask her if she cut it. I'm like, nah, baby. Nah, don't ask her. I'ma ask her. It really had just made me mad because like I said, this is my business. I get paid for this. So if she would have like really messed up the wig, that's money that I'm losing out on. I was just telling Mara everything, and you know, like after the situation, she was just kind of seeing like, I don't want to go on a trip either. Like obviously she's real weird. Like I said, I had to go get my nails done, so I kept getting ready before I confronted her. Before I left, I do remember I had locked my door and then I had started my car with the key. On my way out, I knocked on her door and I could kind of tell that she had just woke up, just kind of like by the tone of her voice. But I don't remember what she said, but it just gave like what or something. I'm like, did you come out wig? She like, hold on, I'm gonna come out there. What you mean you finna come out there?
That's suspicious.
And she come out the room and she's like, what? I'm like, did you cut my wig? She was like, no, like, why would I cut your wig? I'm like, well, my wig is cut and we're the only two people who stay here. So who else would have cut my wig? She just kept saying like, no, I didn't cut your wig. Next thing you know, she clapping in my face like, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? She banging on the wall like, what you trying to do? And I'm like,
whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
How are you more mad about the situation than I am? You cut my wig. I didn't cut your wig. Next thing y'all know, we was in there scrapping. You just said on TikTok a few days ago that if we got into it, that I wasn't gonna beat your.
I showed it. They don't give a fuck. It don't.
We scrapping from the bedroom, literally to the front door, to the kitchen. And like I said, if you know about phase one, that kitchen real small. Like it's a small little hallway. We in there like, I'm talking about tussling. We had kind of like got stuck in the kitchen. I was just like, let me go. I got places to be. I grabbed my stuff and I'm heading out the door. So I'm walking out the door. I call Mara and I'm just like I told you, I had started my car. So my phone had automatically connected to the car. So she don't even know what I'm saying. She just see me going, da 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 da. Fiona walk out right behind me. She called her mama or somebody and was just like, oh, like she hit me, da da da. Walk down the stairs. I remember having like a scarf on her hand. She like tried to hit me with the scarf and she was like, don't come back here by yourself. Ooh, what you mean by that? What you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Walking on the stairs, I get in the car. I'm talking to Mary. I'm telling her everything that happened. I confronted her. She lied about it. She clapped in my face, having way more pressure than I was. So we scrapped about it. And I kind of get like a little far down the street. I would say probably like, I probably got like 10 minutes down the street. Probably a little further than that. I get down the street and Mary had told me that Fiona had called her. Well, was calling her. So I'm like, okay, go ahead, answer the phone because I want to know like what she gonna say. And I had called my mom. So I'm talking to my mom, telling her like what happened. Like while I'm on the phone with my mom, Mara texts me and she's just like, are you sure you locked your door? She's like, because it looked like she was in there. I was asking her if she was in there and she hung up to answer her sister. And she asked for your location. So I'm talking to my mom and I'm like, I know I locked my door. But Mara saying how it looked like she was in there. And now I'm like rethinking like, dang, did I lock my door? Did I do it right? Did I turn it to the right side? So I'm like, should I turn around? My mom is telling me like, yeah, like turn around just to be sure. In my head, I'm thinking, if I turn around, I'm not making it to this nail appointment. A couple days was Spring Fest, so I needed my nails done. I was like, fuck it, I'm finna turn around. On my way back home, I went and picked up Cap because, like I said, she talking about don't come back here by yourself, and baby, that's a threat. After the situation, I found out that she ended up calling all of our homeboys, all of our friends. We had each other location except for me and her, so she's calling everybody like, oh, where she at? Send me her location. And everybody's confused because, like I said, nobody knew that we weren't cool anymore, and nobody knew that we had just fought. So they're just like confused. When we pulled up, I do remember seeing her car outside, and we went inside, and I went to my room. When we got there, off rip, nothing was weird except when I got to my door and I noticed that like my door is now like flimsy. Like I'm gonna show y'all a video, but my door was like real flimsy and now all of a sudden it's unlocked. When I first walked in, like nothing really just seemed out of sort until I looked at my bed and I got this big old slit in my comforter and my pillows. I had this rolling tray like when you first walk in and I had like all of my shades on there. All of them was broke. She broke off all the little ear things off of there. But all of this, I'm just like, okay, cool, like whatever. So I go to my closet and I open up one side and I had like my dresser in there and I had like a couple of clothes on top. Nothing was out of sort. So I closed that side and went on the other side and I'm looking, all of a sudden I smell bleach and I'm looking at all my clothes. My clothes were literally turning. Like all of my clothes just had bleach on them and I'm like, I just know she did not just bleach my clothes. Like she had a bottle of bleach and just went and poured it all on top of it. And under my clothes, I had a shoe rack with all my shoes on it. And all of my shoes was soaked with bleach. It just smelled like straight bleach. My mama had already called me and was just like, you know, if anything is messed up, just call the police because, you know, like I'm finna get my money back. Definitely finna get my money back. If we fight, I don't believe in calling the police because why? Like the fight's done. Now, unless, like I said, you damage my stuff, then I'm gonna call the police. Next thing I know, I turn around, my desk, what else could be messed up? And y'all, it was like me and my Canon G7X were like eyeballing each other. And I'm just like, no, she didn't. She wouldn't have. No, she didn't. Y'all, pick up my camera. I flipped the little screen and all I see is just wet. Like the whole camera is just wet. And I'm just like, y'all, that was my moment. I literally blacked out in that moment and I just got so mad. I ended up just calling the police and I'm telling them like what happened. Like, oh, I got into altercation and my roommate done damaged all my stuff. They telling me to go outside to chill and wait for them to pull up and all of that. So me and Cap go outside, but we sit in my car, we wait for them, they come, they ask me questions. I believe it was like 3 cops. I remember one of them going upstairs and like talking to her. The other 2 was talking to me. Eventually they brought her down and they brought me up and they had me like writing down everything that was damaged, how much everything cost. Like y'all, I literally had to go through every single piece of clothing. This jacket costs this much. These shoes cost this much. My camera costs this much. Like she cut the cord to my projector. My projector costs this much. So I go back downstairs and me and Kat, we sit in my car. So eventually the cop had came back to me. He was like, hey, like come over here. Like, so I get out my door. I got out of my car and I like left my door like wide open and I had walked up to him. And so he was just like, you know, like we're about to arrest her for damaging your stuff, like criminal mischief, whatever. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like what Riley say, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, get that nigga out of here.
And then he's like, oh yeah, but we're gonna arrest you too for assault.
And
You gonna arrest me? What did I do? Y'all see, like I said, she done cut my wig. We fight fair and square and she damaged my stuff and y'all gonna arrest me too? I called y'all. I thought it was a just kidding moment. Like I swear to God, I thought he was gonna say just kidding. Y'all, he did not say just kidding.
Wow, man. Damn.
Like they literally made me take off all my jewelry, put me in handcuffs, put me in the back of the car. And I'm like, this is not real. Like,
This shit is not real.
this never had crossed my mind. Like, I'm not thinking anytime in this situation like, oh, they finna arrest me because I called y'all. Like, what you mean? Y'all, they literally took us to the on-campus police department, had us sitting in there in their little cells, like separately, obviously. They ended up transporting us from there to the actual county jail. Had to do fingerprints, dressed out in this nasty ass orange jumpsuit, in there getting harassed by men to myself, oh, you look good at orange. Like, ew. Craziest day of my life. I'm in the cell by myself, like sitting here trying to think of songs. Like, I'm in here looking at white brick walls with the lights on 100,000. Cold as hell in there. If you know me, you know I'm anemic. I be cold all the time. And like, this was like the coldest cold I ever felt. I'm talking about with a regular ass jumpsuit on, no sleeves, freezing. I'm talking about I'm in there trying to bundle up in the jumpsuit, freezing. Y'all, I was there like all day. They was like, yeah, the judge not gonna be here till tomorrow. And I'm like, y'all expect me to spend the night here? Hell no, y'all. They brought this nasty food in there. I'm like, bro, time is going by slow. I forgot to mention that once I found out that all my stuff was damaged, I had called my brother and he was on 100,000. If you know my brother, you know he was on 100,000. He drove all the way from Tyler, where I'm like originally from. That's like a 3.5 hour drive. Y'all, he literally made that drive so fast. Like, by the time I got arrested, he was pulling up. I didn't know that, obviously, but I found out that literally once I got to like the on-campus police department, he was there trying to get me out and they was just not going for it. The next day I had to talk to the judge. He gave me my bond amount and my mama instantly bonded me out. Once I left there, I had went and ate with my family, and my mom had told me that the on-campus housing that I was staying at was basically telling me that I had to move out. And they were like, they were only gonna give me a day. Like, I literally had to move out that day, but my mom had talked to them about like letting me move out like within 2 days. We had went back to my on-campus housing, and as soon as we got there and walking up the stairs, here go Fiona and her family, and they're walking downstairs. They're moving all her stuff out. We went up there and we had like started moving my stuff out so that my mom could take it. And when we got there, we had realized that Fiona stole all my pants. Whenever we were moving my stuff out from my dorm, that's when we found out that she actually had bleached my MacBook as well, causing me to literally go and buy another MacBook that same day because we were still in the semester. We moved all my stuff out. I think I had stayed there for like one more day, and I had just moved all of that stuff into my car, and I had drove home, brought that stuff back. I had came back to PV because, like I said, it was Springfest. So I had to literally go get my hair done the next day after I came back, and I had to pay that same day customization fee. I had to pay a same day booking for my nails because I didn't get my deposit back, and the other girl didn't have any more appointments, so I had to book with somebody else. After all of that, months and months later, my case ended up getting dismissed. As far as her case, it was originally a felony. They told her that she had to pay me full out in order for her to get her felony dropped down to a misdemeanor. They said if she had to do payments, it's gonna stay a felony. Thankfully for her, we had just got a HERF grant. You better thank PV. Ever since then, I've seen her every here and there. In conclusion, she bleached my MacBook, my camera, cut my cord to my projector, bleached my clothes, cut my comforter, my pillows, broke all my shades, cut my wig. People are very envious, and that's what you have to learn at the end of the day. It was really jealousy and envy, the whole situation, like even from the beginning. I always looked at all of my friends like, you know, as equals. I always wanted to bring all my friends up, you know, because like Glorilla said,
them bitches should have stayed down. They could have been up to me, but all they doing is talking down, cause they can't get up with me.
But yeah, that was that. That was a crazy roommate story time that y'all have been ready for. If y'all like the story time, make sure y'all hit the like button, comment down below, and let me know if y'all have ever had a crazy roommate story, because this is like the only crazy story that I feel like I could be able to tell y'all. Karma definitely makes its way around, and I got that money, so yeah. But yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure y'all tap into my next video. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye y'all.